Greetings, it's Stephanie Willis again with NEED A REBOOT.com. I wanted to talk a little bit about why reboot and why it would be the perfect tool for you. I definitely want you to know that reboot is not about selling a book. It's not about selling a workshop, even though workshops are offered. Reboot is about helping you to reboot yourself, helping you to find happiness in life. I'm so passionate about this work because I had been there. I had many, many years to deal with anxiety and depression and feelings of lack, not having enough, not being enough. And even though on the outside, as a single mother of 2 sons, I appeared to be doing very well, and I was doing well on the outside. I was in school full-time as a young single parent, raising 2 sons, and at that time I owned a home, I had a new car, I had a great job. I mean, life was comfortable. It was very comfortable. We had a membership at our favorite health club. The kids were active in the various, activities that they enjoyed. I was very present at home with the boys, so I wasn't an absent parent, but I think in part that worked against me because I didn't have an outlet. I didn't get time to myself. I didn't get breaks and breathing room, so I was kind of on the go all the time. So, in hindsight, going back and then moving forward, I was able to see things that could have been and should have been different that would have enhanced my life, but it didn't exist. I didn't have family nearby, and it was a sort of a challenging setup, but I know that I'm not the only one. I know that when I look around, I see a lot of people, whether they're single parents, single mothers, single fathers, or grandparents raising children. It's not even just about parenting. It's just about how life can become overwhelming and you have to find ways to cope with it. And I think part of the reason that life becomes overwhelming is because we're stuck in old belief systems. We're stuck believing that we have to do what we are doing, and thus we don't have options, or the options that we do have don't look very good to us because our belief system says you can't do that, you can't choose that, that's not the right thing to do, or it's not the best thing to do. And unfortunately, in my opinion, it took probably 20 years for me to get to the point where I understood that. It took me nearly 20 years before I actually started to search for what I call the elusive keys to life. But I guess, and perhaps it was because I was waiting for my sons to become more self-sufficient and independent. Perhaps I'm the one who set that expectation and or timetable upon myself unknowingly because I wanted not to disrupt their comfort. I wanted not to have instability in my home. I didn't want to take any risks. I refused to create an unstable environment for them. So I guess I can own up to that in my own life. But had I known the things that I know now earlier on, then everything could have been different. Everything would have been different. So I Need a Reboot was really based on my own reboot. And a lot of what I had learned that I needed to do, I wanted to share with others and to let you all know that this is something that you can do. You can really change your life. If you are working a job that you absolutely don't love, if you have dreams to go back to school, if you want to move to a new state or something, I think what happens, we feel stuck. That, as was the case for me, I felt stuck. I felt like I have to do this. While there were options, there weren't options that made sense to me in my former state of consciousness. What I was consciously aware of as being options, they weren't good enough options for me. At the time, I was earning about $78,000 a year, or maybe, obviously we got a raise every year, so When I left the company, I was making about that. So anywhere between 68 and 70